All right, Fitz here. I am here with Kirk Massey at New Creations RC here in Willis, Texas,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
And I was confused where I am. Now,
Same.
New Creations is a really amazing hobby shop. It's been here. How long have you been here?
31 years.
31 years. So it's an amazing hobby shop. It has a really impressive collection dating back to the early days of electric flying. And so it's always been a really treat to come here to take a look at the store and just really, if you need it, he probably has it somewhere. So Kirk has taken a few minutes of his very busy time to talk to us, and we thought we'd catch him while we can. To talk about just a little bit about yourself and the store. Now, you said the store's been here for
31 years.
31 years. How long have you been in the hobby yourself? You're a flyer yourself.
I started in 84, I believe. Started flying electrics in 85. And as far as I know, I was one of the first guys to fly a quarter scale on electric back in
Wow.
85. And I flew a quarter scale Cub that I built specifically for electric because people said it wouldn't work. I tried proving them that electrics would work. Had a few incidents on the way.
Well, sure. That was the what do you call it? The caveman era of electric flying.
Yeah, we had to run on that quarter scale Cub. I had 36 NiCads, 1200 milliamps, and had to run 2 chargers going through 2 voltage boosters into 2 charge jacks to charge those batteries.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing.
50 pounds later.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I figure 2 ounces each times 36. That poor plane weighed 14 and a half pounds, as light as I could make it then. But it flew. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I tried electric earlier on, and it was basically the 6-cell can motor, and they barely got out of its own way. So that's amazing. So what gave you the crazy idea to start your own store?
Well, I was into electric, and there was a hobby shop in Sugar Land then called Electric Model Company, and I was buying my electric stuff through him. And he called me one day and said, "I'm going out of business. Everything's on sale at half price." So I'll be right there. So I took all the cash I had, and I don't remember how much that was, and then went down there and still ended up charging out $1,300 worth. And this is back in 84. And I go, or 85, I mean, and I'm going, good grief, I'm having buyer's remorse on the way home. And I said, well, I'll sell the stuff I don't have to have and give people 25% off. And so I took it to the electric meet, and it might have been the best then. They swarmed me and bought everything and said, can you get more? I said, yeah. So I went back and I ended up buying $30,000 on credit cards from him, and started sending out flyers to all the electric meets, offering them 25% off. And so they started sending me money. So I started running out of stuff, so I got set up with Leisure and Astroflight as dealers and Master Airscrew, and then I made up a little catalog. And we were working, this was my body shop, and we were working out of that one little room in there, and I hired my nephew, and I was working night and day, and my wife says, you can't do both. You got to do one or the other. And I said, I've eaten Bondo dust 20 years. Goodbye. So this started, we started printing, copying and pasting and stuff.
This is the pre-internet days, right? So.
Yeah, just a simple catalog, and we got set up with Hobby Lobby. We eventually became their largest distributor or dealer, and using cutting and pasting out of their catalog and Astro's catalog and stuff, and made these paper things up that we printed with the copier and stapled together, and we sent them out. And we went to all the big meets in Pennsylvania, pulling a little trailer. 1967 Montgomery Ward's camp trailer. We pulled that thing loaded with $50,000-$60,000 worth of stuff, a camper shell on top, and we broke the frame 3 times. I mean, it was a fiasco, but we drive 32 hours up there, set up on Friday afternoon at the KRC, and work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and drive straight back home. But we sold 3 months worth of sales in one weekend, so it made it worth it. But eventually it got to where it wasn't worth packing up and going to those, because we had enough walk-in business. As other hobby shops failed in the area because of the overhead and lack of markup, our advantage was we didn't have any overhead, so we were able to keep going. But at one time we had 5 full-time employees and we shipped all over the world.
Wow.
But when 9/11 happened, that knocked it in the head. And then the internet started, and you know, that was the death knell. But you know,
Still, that's an amazing run.
yeah.
And it must be really also, since you started in the really early pioneering days of electric flying, it must be amazing to see how much has evolved over those years.
Yeah, when brushless motors and lipos came out, that just totally revolutionized electric flight. You know, before that we were modifying. You can see this motor. This is one thing that sort of put us in the magazines and the maps. We used to lighten these motors for competition gliders.
Is that an Astroflight?
Yeah, it was an Astroflight motor that we took 2.5 ounces out of this combo, and then a competition glider, that was the difference between winning and losing. And so eventually got to where Astroflight banned me. They wouldn't send me any more motors till I promised not to modify them anymore. And they started cutting their end bells and lightening them, and so that put me out of that business. But you know, it helped get us started.
Yeah. Anything to kind of put you on the map and get customers to know that you're around.
Can you tell us the specs for that motor right there in your hand?
Well, this is an Astroflight FAI 05. And what I would do is I would cut the end bells down here and notch them out to where it got more ventilation, cut the back part out, drill the gearbox, replace the shaft with aluminum, cut everything off that I felt I could without it falling apart. And so it made a tremendous difference in what the gliders, their climb out rate and their sink rate. So, but we did that for all the guys that won the Nats for years until brushless motors came out.
Yes.
And that was the end of it.
Yeah.
But it was fun doing it. It was very labor intensive, and I think we got $90 to do all that back then.
Speaking of anecdotal stories, can you tell us about, I think one time you told me you actually traded a farm animal for some RC parts or something like that?
I did what now?
Traded a farm animal for some RC parts?
There's no telling.
Legend has it.
I've had too many concussions.
Legend has it that you were out here in the country. New Creations is quite a bit out in the rural area, and so I think you at one point, I don't know if it was a pig or a sheep or a goat.
We acquired a goat, so that could have been it, but I don't remember.
We'll keep digging.
Yeah, I did a lot of horse trading, you know, for guns or whatever. I mean, dental work. I mean, I used to trade. Stuff for my
I've always wanted a
dentist.
Spitfire. Can you do a crown for me? I'll trade you a Spitfire.
Well, I did body work for that too.
There you go.
I mean, I even had a surgeon doing knee surgery for painting his boat.
Oh, nice.
So when you don't have a lot of money, you do whatever's necessary.
Understood. That's great stories. But unfortunately, I understand you are closing up shop pretty soon.
Yes, we're planning on closing on April 29th, at least full time. My wife's thinking we may open one day a week just to help service people, but we're not sure. We're playing it by ear. I've decided I was going to start building custom cars and stuff. I did
nice.
one for my father-in-law. He on his deathbed, he had made me promise to finish a car that he'd started. And so it took the family over 18 years to get it to me, but once they did, I finished it in 8.5 months. And I enjoyed doing that so much, and that I decided to start another project. So I'm thinking that's what I want to do. We'll see.
Well, that sounds great. I mean, I hope to see you work at a car show or something.
I've entered that car in 7 shows and won 10 trophies so far.
Yeah. Wow.
So best of show and best truck and
so multiple trophies
things.
on some of the
best engine.
Wow.
Some of them won 2 at one show.
It's that modeler's attention to detail that helps you out with
that makes
stuff, right?
a difference, and that's the sad thing, that they're taking away the hobby from us. Used to, when I started, you had to build everything, you know, and if you crashed it in 1 week, you had a hard time getting it ready for the next week. But now, you know, like the major distributors don't carry sanding blocks, don't carry sandpaper. You know, you can't even get a sealing iron anymore.
Yeah, we've talked about that, yeah.
CA hinges, all the stuff that we used to use for building, you know, is going away. And at least they carry X-Acto knives and saws, but, you know, it's just really, it's sad that they're losing that art. And kit builders, you know, there's very few kit builders. I mean, we used to buy from so many manufacturers, you know, as we were closing out this and trying to pull out old stuff out of the boxes, we're finding, you know, I forgot how many different manufacturers we used to buy from, but I mean, it was, you know, probably not, well, more than 50 different companies we bought from.
Wow, wow.
You know, and now we only basically buy from 3, and that's all that's left, you know. It's sad.
Well, nobody can deny that you've done your bit for King and Country as part of the hobby. It's
Tried.
you tried.
You know.
You've had a really impressive run, and glad to see you're off to doing some something really constructive within your semi-retirement.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll never get to retire. My
No,
wife's
that's
got
good.
enough plans for me, though. I'll never stop working.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and hopefully we'll cross paths again once the shop is closed up, and you hopefully come to the fly-ins, best and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
want to
give up
add
your
real
models.
quick that you've been a great sponsor of Best, the best electrics in South Texas. And
Yes.
Yeah.
you and I have been coming a long time. I've been 20 years, and you've been a sponsor, I think, since the beginning.
Yeah.
And so we really appreciate all that you've done, and because I know I've won a couple of raffle prizes, and I certainly appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna still donate this year, even though we won't be there as a business, but we've got boxes we're already saving for y'all. So,
Oh, fantastic. Thank you
but
so
I
much.
appreciate your effort, you know, in the magazines, and you know, helping us video-wise and stuff. You know, that's what it takes, is together. You know, we can't do it by ourselves. So thank y'all.
Absolutely.
Not a problem. Our pleasure.
All right.
All right. Well, you heard it from the man, Kirk Massey, New Creations.
Old man, hey, Sandy.
So we got to roughly the end of the month. Get your parts. Give them a call. You just might have what you need. And
And it's at a discount.
a discount too.
Yeah, we have to check out right after this video. We got
Yes,
a
we
huge
do.
file over there.
All right. Well, thanks for your time. Appreciate
All
it.
right. Thank y'all. Bye-bye.